doing 17 days without doing laundry in Scotland. So in Scotland, including air travel, I started from where I was living in Albany, California, went to San Francisco International Airport, to Paris Airport, to Edinburgh Airport, traveled Scotland, and then did that in reverse. And it was 17 days total, and I didn't, so I had planned on going like hiking for a few days on an isle, and that ended up not panning out. So a lot of the space in my bag was actually a tent and a sleeping bag that I never used. And so I didn't pack as much clothes as I could have if I hadn't packed the tent and the sleeping bag. They kind of take up space. And so I still packed enough to have a few changes of clothes, but I did not, partway through the trip, I was like, I should do laundry. My clothes are starting to smell a little bit. And the problem I ran into was I couldn't find any small packages of laundry detergent or dryer wipes, or I don't know if they're called wipes, dryer sheets. And so they had like the big containers, and I didn't ask around if anybody had stuff I could use for laundry. It was just kind of like I should have detergent, so that was just my geology field work gear kind of kicking in. And so I didn't find any at the store, and so it was like, I suppose I could send it out, but then I need to be in a place long enough for the laundry to get done, because I was traveling around Scotland, like driving. Not a lot of places I stayed more than one night. No, well, okay, there was only one place I think I stayed 3 nights. So it was like a range of 1 to 3 nights, and 2 in 1 night stays were kind of the common mode for me. But I was like, then I have to figure out laundry, and I have enough clothes to make it work, and they don't smell that bad. So I ended up not doing laundry for 17 days, which is, and I was out there hiking and walking around. Some days I did over 11 miles and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not saying I recommend it or don't recommend it, but it was just kind of something I didn't necessarily think about in advance of my Scotland trip, and then it was there, and I was like, oh, I don't have this, yeah. And I suppose I could have looked up a laundromat or something like that, but at most laundromats, like, I still needed to get detergent, so I was still stuck at the detergent stage. I'm not gonna buy like a gallon of laundry detergent to do laundry detergent once. So I'm thinking about that in advance of my Ireland trip and my heritage travel trip. It was my Scotland heritage travel trip in July 2019 that this happened for. And so thinking forward to my other heritage travel trips of, well, maybe I'll pack 2 dryer sheets or 3 dryer sheets, and take a little box of detergent or a little container of liquid, label it, and put it in my checked bag or something like that. And so, yeah, that's my plan. I do plan with, I have a travel voucher because I already bought the airfare to Ireland, and then the flights were canceled due to COVID-19, and so I got a travel voucher through Iceland Air, and they allow, as part of my ticket, 1 checked bag for free. So I'm thinking of packing some, like insect repellent, sunscreen, maybe laundry detergent that's liquid form, shampoo, conditioner. I don't need a lot of each of these things, but they do add up to, if I actually take them all, I might as well just put them in a checked bag, especially since it's free. So that's pretty cool. Air France was the same, and that's a very neat thing. And it's like you only get 1, and if you have more, then you pay for the more checked bags. But when it's only a few weeks, I find that's not too bad. I'll take like 1, maybe 2 pairs of shoes. Like I'm a pretty light traveler, but you can judge that. I'll do when eventually the trips come around, I'll do this is what I'm kind of taking video or two. I think I've already done an Ireland gear video, so that's, yeah. Anything else on the laundry? Yeah, so just think in advance, I suppose. And I ended up doing more hikes and like more intense hikes and more walking around towns than I thought I would. So yeah, I started smelling a little bit faster. I guess one trick I know is to not, and it works for me, for some people it might be the opposite, is I actually smell worse with deodorant. So like if I start to smell and then I start, and like my clothes start to smell specifically, and I use deodorant, it smells terrible. But if I don't use deodorant, things don't stink up as fast, or at all. I kind of have, naturally I have a little bit of a sweet scent to my sweat, and so deodorant doesn't necessarily smell better, and a lot of the times it smells really bad when I put it on. So what I did was, one of my friends taught me in South Africa, is to, when I'm showering, because it's hair in the armpits or little hair stubble, is if you shave your armpits or something like that, is to use shampoo. If you do a little shampoo, and then it doesn't smell, and that works for me. So that's what I do for like the deodorant category. And then yeah, but it was I still had access to a shower and everything like that, so it was just the clothes that was kind of the problem. And I didn't do any sink washing or anything like that. I was just like, again, buying supplies to do that, and having the time to let it dry out, which I was a little pressed for. And it wasn't so hot that they would dry out quickly. Gotta kind of have really hot temperatures to do that, or like a hair dryer, and I didn't take a hair dryer, and I wasn't gonna take the time to take a hair dryer and dry my entire shirt out and stuff like that, and then multiple shirts, and just like, there goes several hours potentially if I were to do that for everything. So it's just like, executive decision, no laundry this time. So I spent 17 days backpacking, as in living out of a backpack, traveling to and from and in Scotland. Oh, my 17 days without doing laundry. So, gonna see if we can do laundry on the next heritage travel trips.